do you understand by the term literacy, and how important do you believe education is for our women and girls here within the country? I am Miriam Rakane, and welcome to this episode of Women's World. On this episode, I will be sharing with you the types of work and training that organizations here within the country are carrying out in support towards the educating of our women and girls here within the country.
Apart from educational assistance by the government, faith-based organizations such as Anglicare PNG prioritizes in the providing of education-based opportunities for our women and girls in the community.
We have 5 dioceses in the country, where in the 5 dioceses we have other literacy schools there in operation. So my role is to coordinate and ensure that these other literacy schools are operational ongoing, so that our illiterate youth and adults can be able to read and write. So the adult literacy program focuses only on educating the illiterate youths and adults who have missed on the formal education whilst they were in their early childhood, where they supposed to, do their primary education, and they have missed. Now that they are adults or they are their youth age, and that eagerness for them to be educated, and there is no opportunity for them. So that's where we, other literacy, stepped in to assist these unfortunate illiterate youth and adults, and providing them the second opportunity so that they can are able to read and write and make a sound decision in their livelihood. So basically the objective of why we provide adult literacy is to help them to able to read and write in talk piecing, and also in basic English. That's the foremost reason. And the second one is to, of course, by help them to, mostly they are coming from the church background. We help them to, at least they can able to read, so they can able to read the Bible and participate actively in the church activities. This adult literacy program started in 2006, where we initially enrolled 9 learners, 9 people, and these 9 people who benefit from one of the Anglicare service that we provide, which is the drop-in center, where people who are affected with HIV, and they come, we access the medicines here, and then we identify that those who were illiterates, we see that there is a need in educating them so they can be informed, and once they are able to read and write, they can at least help them to assist to make good decisions. So that's why we started there. So it's now about 20 years since of operational, and then we opened to the public, to wider audience to come in, and to those interested youths and others to come in and get themselves educated. The main recipients of our adult literacy program are the youths and adults. So those youths and adults are the unfortunate ones, the vulnerable ones who were missed out on the education due to some various reasons. So those are the ones that we target, those who missed on the education earlier on. They should have been on the primary schools, but they've missed. So those are the main recipients of our program.
According to the last literacy report, which was released in 2015, the literacy among our women and girls was at 62.7%. This, however, has increased throughout the years. Here we are speaking to Imelda, who is a successful recipient of the courses offered at the Adult Literacy Center under Anglicare PNG. Anglicare PNG hosts some of these courses in numerous provinces around the country, which has greatly improved the literacy rates among our women and girls.
First, me learning Anglicare literacy program through my friends. And Me come lo here, me learning plenty something, which is me no sabe longam. I started to know that now me can read him simple English and write him. It's benefited me a lot because I learned so many things in literacy program. Not only literacy program, but there's a woman. There's so many skills in the literacy program like sewing, cooking, baking, and computer skills and phonics programs that we are learning. Me go to plenty challenges because I couldn't fill in the bank forms and reading all newsletters, Lord Bikini, Blomila School. There's so many challenges I face before I entered that school.
From my teachers, or from the reports that I am getting so far, and at times when during my monitoring trips, going out and interviewing my teachers and as well as the learners and looking at the reports so far, about 75% of the enrollment that we are enrolling our learners into our adult literacy program is about 75% of them. 75% of the total number of learners that we enroll them into our program. So you would see that the most of the learners beneficiary to our program is the females, because 75% of them coming in.
I'm a mother of 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl. One of my friends told me about this Anglican literacy school. So when she took out a folder and showed me about phonogram sounds, the drilling of sounds, I was really motivated by this program and I enrolled myself here. It's like I can read but not long words. I cannot pronounce them properly. So when I came into this program, it really helped me to pronounce the long words that I never pronounced them before. I had a big challenge in my family, like I was a single mother and the kids went to school and sitting back was not, it didn't help me. So I thought of coming to this program to help myself and look for a job later, or to look after myself and my kids.
Boyri, who was working prior to her enrollment in the adult literacy program, was illiterate and unable to understand simple directives from her employee. Today, she is literate and is a successful recipient of the adult literacy program.
My name is Nelly Boyri. I am 48 years old and I come from Oro province. I first learned about Anglican literacy school through my friends. It motivated me to join this program because I cannot read and write. It is a worker as processing assistant supervisor with Fatty Liquors. I brought through the struggles of post-literacy and numeracy skills. I found myself reading and writing in simple English.
Have you heard of Wings Education PNG and the tremendous work they are carrying out in empowering and educating our women through their various trainings and programs? We speak to them next here on Women's World.
My name's Karen Karen Mitchell, and I'm the Director of Wings Education. So I come from a small town called Ballarat in Victoria, in Australia. And when I was 10 years old, I can remember looking at an atlas and seeing a map of PNG under the map of Australia. And then I looked at this PNG island and I looked at the pictures around it about what the country produced. And I think at that moment I fell in love with PNG. So in my life, it took a direction in my 20s, as sometimes happens, that wasn't planned. So I saw it as an opportunity and I thought to myself, okay, so what do I need to do with the rest of my life? And I remembered that country, Papua New Guinea, and I applied for a job and I arrived in Madang in 1983 and I've been a resident of Papua New Guinea ever since.
Hello, my name is Rachel Konaka and I'm a proud Bougainvillean. I've been working with Wings Education for the last 7 years. I am the executive manager and I also facilitate our training programs. What I loved about Wings Education is the ability to connect with our participants and to see the sparkle in their eyes after our training. And that is the reason why I've hung on with Wings Education.
Hello, my name is Kini Rema. I come from a village called Kapari in the Central Province and not far away from Port Moresby City. I am a training consultant with WINS and facilitate all the programs that WINS offer. And one of the best things that we love about training with WINS is that we have the same passion for lifelong learning, and we have been highly qualified in that we have master's degrees in education, and with the training that we offer, we bring the qualifications and the experiences with us to the training, and we can guarantee that our training programs are very, very different. Yes, and so that's what we love about WINS training.
So hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Asigao and I work for the Business Coalition for Women as the program manager, and we work in partnership with Wings Education through our leadership pillar. Wings facilitates our certificate for in leadership and management in Port Moresby and soon to be branching out to Lae.
So Wings Education was established in 2011. I guess at that time we saw a need for communication skills and connecting more effectively. And we also have a very strong desire to bring about behaviour change. And we looked at our experiences at the time. I encouraged Kini to come on board and work with us right from the start. And we looked at what we could do to do something different about training and education in Papua New Guinea. So we're a very unique organisation. We're a consortium of women, facilitators and advisors. And we have a very unique style of facilitating where we work with each other and we model our leadership and we model coaching.
So one of the biggest challenges that women face, and especially having stories or feedback from the graduates from the Certificate 4 in Leadership and Management, is that as soon as they graduate and go back to their workplaces, it's that ongoing support that the workplaces have to offer. I know, and I think it's also the different working environments creating that enabling environment for women to advance and prosper, and it's not there, and so sometimes women feel discouraged after the course. And so the good thing about the course is that we offer them tools, and we offer them tools like compartmentalizing, So for them to think differently and look at different perspectives of looking at the problem itself and how they can move past that problem and continue with supporting the goals and the vision of their organization, so they feel part and partial of the whole organization. And so in the course itself, we do focus on networking and mentoring and coaching, where we have to help develop confidence in the women so that when they return back to their workplaces, they feel confident themselves. Because as Papua New Guineans, we come from a culture that could be so binding, and so we feel the pressure of holding positions like being a manager at the workplace, at the same time being a mother, and then of course a student at the same time. So it's helping the women to juggle between those responsibilities and see themselves where they fit in and how they can move over those challenges. So one of the beauties about this course itself is that it helps boost the confidence to believe in themselves that they can make a difference regardless of all the responsibilities and different cultures that they come from, which is maybe holding them back, or they could be seeing it as a barrier, but they can be able to move over or go past those barriers, and it's possible.
Coming up next, we share with you a very powerful speech by Dr. Fiona Hukula that was shared during the International Women's Day celebrations, and the importance of educating our women in society.
Key findings from the election study show that women's participation in politics will continue to be difficult because of the various structural barriers we face relating to traditional notions of leadership, that women are not capable of entering parliament, electoral irregularities, which is something that not only affects women candidates but men candidates. So things like vote buying, violence, the irregular common roll, and our weak political party system. After the 2017 elections, I attended a forum organized by UNDP that brought together some women candidates. They were frank and honest about their experience. What I heard at the forum complemented the challenges that my colleagues found through their study in Morobe. As long as these structural barriers are in place, women in PNG who have political aspirations will continue to struggle. This is why my colleagues and I have been advocating for temporary special measures to enable women to enter Parliament. So what is a temporary special measure? It's a form of assistance that aims to improve women's participation and representation in politics. It's a contentious issue because a lot of people feel that it's not that it's allowing women to get a free ride into Parliament. It's not on merit. And I know that a lot of educated women like yourselves, disagree with advocacy around temporary special measures. I think also it's important to make it clear that measures such as reserved seats allow women to be elected through the electoral process. So sometimes when we say reserved seats, people say, I'll just go inside and things like that. No, there's process in place. There's, like in Bougainville, women are elected at the elections, and also here in the Motu Koita. In terms of election through merit, I ask, what do we mean by merit? To reflect and say, are we holding women to a different sort of expectation and level as leaders? We all know that the last 3 women who were in Parliament came under a lot of scrutiny, and sometimes when we discuss this, people say, oh, well, the other women who came in didn't really perform well, So is that how we measure merit for both men and women? Do we hold men and women to the same standards? Because in my view, if you're going to be a leader, whether you are a man or woman, we should be holding people to account using the same measure. we've signed, PNG as a country has signed the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, and Article 7 of that particular convention says that state parties shall take appropriate measures to eliminate discrimination against women in the political and public life of the country, and in particular shall ensure that women participate on equal terms as men. And we can actively choose to challenge stereotypes as women not being capable of holding stereotypes such as women not being capable of holding high office. We can actively choose to maybe think about things differently, such as what are other options that we can help women to get into parliament. For me, we need to see more women in parliament because it enables diversity in decision making. I've been very privileged to serve on the board of a Constitutional Law Reform Commission with 3 politicians, senior men, Dr. Alan Marat from the opposition, Dr. Kobe Bomareo, and our chairman, Mr. Robert Atiafa. And being the only female on that board, I can see that I bring that different view and lens, and that's why I think we need women in parliament. So we have a diversity, because women are not only women, they have, some of you here are very, like I said, highly educated. We have forgotten that our parliament is for lawmaking and legislating. It's not for project, go give him check and things like that. So that's why we need smart people like some of you in the parliament. Finally, it's important to remember that our actions and activism today will have a bearing on our children, both boys and girls, and the future of this country. As Jacinta mentioned when she introduced me, I'm a mother of 3 girls. My eldest, Tabai, will be 11 this year. She will be 13 when the next general elections take place. If no women make it into parliament, then she would have spent those kind of formative teenage years not knowing what it's like to see a woman in parliament. And my children know politicians. They can tell you that that's Richard Maru and that's this person, but they're all men. And so, if we want to provide our children that opportunity of diversity, then we need to see women and men in all these different spheres. So when my child gets to that age of 18, she knows that, she can be a mom and go to work because she's seen her mom do that. She knows that she can be a mom and do a PhD because that's what her mom did. And she knows that you can be an accountant, and she knows you can be an engineer because she knows Auntie Chantika, and she knows all that. My girls know all the Business and Professional Women's Club members. So they already know that, I can be like this person and I can be like that person. But I rarely hear them talking about, so maybe there's an opportunity, I might be able to be in the parliament. And I think for me that's a concern because as the saying goes, you can't be what you can't see.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Women's World. If you believe you would like to know more about Anglicare PNG or Wings Education PNG, you can find more information on our Facebook page, which is accessible through the link that is appearing on your screen now. Or if you believe there is a story you would like to share with us or you would like to be featured here on our program, please send us a message on our Facebook page. Until next time, I am Miriam Rakone. Please join me on the next episode of Women's World.